What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the John Bush Show. Are Will and Jada done? What's up with Will and Jada, y'all? I knew it. I called it. I used to tell my friends all the time. They thought I was crazy. Let's talk about it. Will and Jada Smith, marriage, and August Alsina, and Margot Robbie. Let's get into this. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and share this video so we can get this John Bush Show out there and get this message out there. Will and Jada, people have looked up to them and their marriage for years. They've been married for over 2 decades in Hollywood. That's hard to do. I even talked about them on my relationship video, how Will Smith knew that Jada was his wife. He knew it. Men have a gift of knowing. He even knew that he married the wrong woman, called Jada up and said, baby, come back to LA, and they got married in Hollywood, and they've been together for decades. But here's the thing. Marriage takes work, and you have to understand each other's love languages. That's the biggest thing I've learned through researching and living my life and dating people in my personal life. You got to understand people's love languages. Even Proverbs talks about you have to have love in a marriage, and in a good relationship, you have to have love, but that's not where it stops. Love ain't gonna make you last for 30, 40, 50 years. It's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Those 3 things you have to understand to keep a healthy, happy relationship. You have to be committed not to loving the person, not to just loving the person, but also to committing to understand and learn that person. And it's a continual thing. People change every 7 years. Statistically, people change their personalities. They're introverted, they're extroverted. Their personalities change every 7 years. You have to keep up with that. It's like an iPhone. You got to keep up with those new software updates. You got to keep up with your spouse and your marriage. And what we see is a classic example. Will and Jada Smith are a classic example of finding the right person at the right time, finding your soulmate. Because a soulmate is defined as finding the right person at the right time. That's my definition of it. He found his soulmate. But they're a clear example of what happens when you do not keep up with your marriage and be committed and loyal in your marriage. That's why I tell people that stop pushing these, oh, black person marries black person, black love this, black love that. If you push that, you're going to be pushing divorce, because it's not about black on black. It's about you finding your soulmate and keeping up a marriage and keeping up a union before God. That's what it's about. It's not about a color thing. It's not about none of that. It's hard to be married and stay married, especially when you have money. Future's new album, he just talked about, he said it's hard to be faithful when you winning. And Will Smith is an example of that. When men have a lot of money, when men are handsome, they're charming, they drive a nice Mercedes, it is harder to be faithful. You have to put work in to do it. That's what I'm trying to show people from my experience, that there's a lot of understanding and wisdom that they need to get going in their marriage. Because what really happened, let me tell you what really happened from me studying them. Will loves Jada. Jada loves Will. But Will was not speaking Jada's love language. Jada wants to be, she's a female, she's a woman. She wants to be loved. She wants to be shown affection. She wants to be shown that you love her and you're faithful, you're committed to her. She wants Will to do his fantasies with her, not no other random chick that he has a movie with. Jada wants that for herself. She wants those words of affirmation. And she was not getting that from Will. Will's busy working, being a multi-million-dollar actor in Hollywood. Will was busy doing his own thing and then hooking up with his co-stars in the meantime. Okay, so Jada had to open up the marriage. Jada had to start to say, okay, I'll open up the marriage and make it seem like it's okay to have an open marriage. It's not. It's not. You talk to Tony Gaskins. I actually talked to him before personally. When women call him talking about open marriage and, oh, I let my man sleep with another woman, it ends in disaster. 99% of the time ends in disaster, because you got to know how marriage was created. Humans have an innate wanting to be loved. It's natural. It's in you. And if you don't get it from your spouse, you're going to get it from somewhere else. If you don't get love when you're a child and a teenager from your parents and from your friends, you're going to find it in alcohol, drugs, pornography, whatever it is. We are creatures that desire love naturally from birth. And in a marriage, you have to continually choose to love that person and commit to understanding and showing love to that person and speaking their love language. I just got done reading the 5 Love Languages book. If you are thinking about getting married, you should read that book before you even think about proposing, because I didn't even know love languages exist. You could stop and prevent so many arguments with your spouse if you learn to speak their love language. And most of the times it's not the same as yours, okay? Because men and women are so different. Because if a man is speaking English, like Will Smith is speaking English, but his wife knows Mandarin from China, he keeps speaking English. She's like, I don't understand that. I speak Mandarin. So he's going to have to learn a second language to communicate properly with his wife. And that's what they're not doing. Will Smith keeps going on vacation with women that are not Jada. He has a YouTube girl that he done gone on vacations with. He took her to Miami. That he's spending that quality time with a different woman other than his wife. Will Smith loves to go on adventures and go travel. He has the money to do that. Jada doesn't like that. Jada wants to stay at home and do the traditional thing for Christmas, make them dress up, stay at home. She's more of a homebody. They don't speak the same language in terms of how they like to expend their time. What they need to do is learn each other's language and practice it. At the end of the day, that's the only way it's going to work. Marriage is built on loyalty. It's built on love. It's built on commitment and faithfulness. That's how God created it. It's the power of oneness. One marriage, one God, one race. Is the power of one spouse. When you step out that box, you're going to always have problems. What did Jada keep saying? Jada kept saying, I wanted to feel special. I wanted to feel loved, because Will was not giving it. So she sought it out. Who is August Alsina? I'm a big fan of August Alsina. I know all his music. Most people don't even know who he is until they learned about him and Jada. I know August pales in comparison to Will Smith. Will Smith is worth 100 times more than August Alsina. And August didn't even know Jada that long. So she's stooping down so low just to get some love that her husband's not giving her. And people out here, oh, I want that Will and Jada love. No, you don't. You tell me you want a man to get rich, get famous, cheat on you. Then you have to act like you okay with it, open up the marriage, cheats on you again. Then you got to find some little teenager R&B singer that ain't even worth half of what your husband's worth, and then hook up with him for a little bit, and then y'all break up and you get back with your husband. That is toxic. What they displayed is what they're displaying is how you can mess up your soulmate. You can mess up the relationship that God put together for you. That's all they're showing. This should not be celebrated. They need to go to counseling. They need to learn each other's love languages, and they need to practice commitment. Think about it. I keep telling people, look at my Facebook, look at my Instagram. If you look at that movie Focus, look, they broke up 4 or 5 years ago, and they were done with each other 4 or 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, Will Smith made a movie with Margot Robbie. I saw that movie with my mama in Chicago. And I said, Ma, I'll never forget, I said, Ma, them two ain't acting. They hooked up. They like each other. I said, Will Smith and Margot Robbie like each other. I don't care what nobody say. It was not acting. Lo and behold, Will Smith, there's reports that Will Smith would take her, after they get done shooting the scene, he would take her on his back and take her straight to the trailer in the back and was beating Margot's guts. He was tearing Margot's cheeks up. I know he was. He's spending all that time with a very beautiful woman like that, and his wife is nowhere to be found. He's human. He's going to get tempted. His wife should be on set with him. That's what he needs to do. So Will Smith has had a hard time controlling his lust Because people might not realize this, but love equals self-discipline. Love is self-control. I got it tatted on my arm. It's part of the fruits of the Spirit. Love is peace. Love is self-control. Love is loyalty. That's what love is. Will does not have control of his sexual desires and his lust. If you read Devon Franklin's book, he'll tell you, even after he was married to Megan Good, your lust does not go away as a man. Your sexual desires do not go away. You're going to still think that woman is beautiful, but you have to learn to control it. Get it under control. It's like a river, a dam flowing. It's like a dam. The Hoover Dam and some of the biggest dams in the world that hold all that water from spilling over, those dams have enough electricity and power to power entire cities. The dam, the energy from a dam can power an entire city. That's how much energy is in it. And it's a wonderful natural resource we have. But when that dam breaks and falls and it can cause destruction. The same thing with lust and sexual desires. If you save that for your wife, if Will saves that for Jada only, they would have a beautiful marriage inside and out, in the public eye and in the private eye. You cannot substitute public success with private mess. That was good. I'll repeat that again. You cannot substitute personal public success with private mess. If your private life is a mess, but you're trying to portray that you got it all together, I make all this money, my marriage is wonderful, it's going to come crashing down. What's done in the dark shall come to light every single time. Stop. We need, as people, as regular folks, we need to stop looking up to these celebrity marriages like that, because they just as crazy as ours. Will, he loves Jada. You can tell. He's got to learn to love her, which is self-control, discipline. He's got to be committed. We got to start thinking that love is the only thing in a marriage. Love is just the basis of it. You got to build that relationship off trust. Will and Jada, Will said, I'm going to get you back. He wasn't playing. Will's about to get her back. He going to do something, and it's going to be toxicity going back and forth until they can't take it no more. They need to preserve that beautiful marriage that they have, get everyone out of it, and be married to each other and start to speak each other's languages. Because at the end of the day, they're going to ruin something that is and can be beautiful. Will over here hooking up with women he don't even know. The women that he just did a movie with, and you hook up, Jada's not stupid. She knows what he was doing. And that caused her to start doing and mess around with August. And that brings me to another point. Men that are committed in a marriage and are loyal in a marriage, you can't really have pretty friends outside of your marriage. Meaning this. If I'm married to a woman and I have this friend that I've known for a long time, and me and her talk every day, but I'm really getting to know this other woman, it will never work. It won't work. You cannot be talking on the phone with your friend that's a girl every day, texting her every day, and your wife's just sitting there like, oh, it's no problem. From what I've seen and men I've talked to married 20, 30, 40 years, they say their wives that love them and trust them still get jealous if they talk to another female every day on the phone. It ain't gonna work. If you want to catch up from time to time or talk when there's emergencies or it's a time to time thing, but every single day having that close female friend, it ain't gonna work. It's too much temptation, especially if you're attracted to them, especially if they look good. It's too much. And Jada and August started as friends. In a nutshell, the only marriages I've seen last for decades and decades are those that practice loyalty, faithfulness, love, and understanding. Understanding your spouse's love language, understanding who they are, and it's continuous. During quarantine, Jada Pinkett said, I don't even know Will anymore. I feel like I don't even know him because he's growing as a person. He's changing as a person. And if you're cheating on each other and giving that attention and affection to other people all the time, of course you're not going to know them anymore because they're becoming new people. They're changing. They're growing. They're getting older. People change. You have to keep up with that change. That's exactly what it is. Jada's love tank was on E and Will was not filling it up. You have a good, healthy relationship is like a car battery. It's like an iPhone battery. You have to continually fill it up and charge it up because it will get drained from the worries of life and things that happen to you. It'll get drained, and as your spouse, you got to fill it up over and over and over. That's what commitment is. Because after you get married to someone, the infatuation stage, that only lasts a few years, a few months. That infatuation is going to leave. You got to marry the whole person, not just the idea of that person. So yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. That do not look up to this open marriage thing. That is not how God created it. It's not going to work. They're going to keep hurting each other and keep getting each other back. That is the definition of toxicity in a relationship. They need to get back to being married to each other, being friends with each other, love and commitment. And same for anyone watching this, that's how you got to have a relationship. It's got to be healthy and between you two. Don't let nobody in your marriage. Set up those boundaries. Stay safe out here. Don't be in marriage is a beautiful thing if you do it with the right person and you commit in the right way. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. People need to hear this message. Share this video. All right, y'all. Peace.